welcome back to our channel, RealTing. I'm Tara.
Hi, I'm Audrey, and we'll be recapping 911 Season 3, Episode 14, The Taking of the Dispatch.
What could that mean?
I know. So the show started by identifying a group of characters getting ready for a big event.
Big heist-looking things.
Yes. Turns out Josh's attacker, Greg, is the captain
Of the whole situation.
Yes, and here are the other characters. There's Tiffany, she's the driver.
Mm-hmm.
There's Ellis, the lieutenant.
Okay.
Oliver, the muscle.
Ooh.
Foster, artillery guy.
Okay.
And Van Cliff and Arpel, who are the thieves.
Okay.
Nice group of criminals.
It's quite some interesting names I got there.
Yes. So the thieves meet up and they change out their vehicles to 2 police SUVs. They enter the 911 dispatch facility, and we saw that a little bit last time, that they went in there and they said that they were shadowing the operators, and the manager led that Greg guy up to Maddie when Josh identified him and dropped his cup.
Yes,
And
because Greg actually looked at Josh and said,
"Hey, lover."
said, "Hey, handsome." And then he looked up and he's like, "Oh, crap,
Yeah.
it's you!"
I know, that was crazy. But then they show they coming into the building and got on the elevator, and 2 of them got off at the server floor, and then the others went upstairs, and that's when they came into the manager guy. The call center manager, she shows them a tablet and says, "Oh yeah, we use this, we can see everything on this," and he says, "Oh, that's something good to know."
It's like, "Oh, show me a little bit more. What does that do?" Okay.
Yeah, so that's good news for them. They can see everything just on that tablet.
Right.
And the 2 guys instruct the server room worker to shut down the 911 thing, which will signal a sequence of events where the calls will be put on an automatic answering process. So they did what they needed to do to shut down the building.
Yeah, but isn't that interesting? Would you ever imagine to call 911 and be like, wait, due to extreme volume, we cannot get to your phone call right now, but please do call back again. Like, what? 911 is supposed to be open all the time.
I know. Yep. And then we see the security guy going up to answer a call in the server room, and some other guy taking over the desk and putting a lock in the front doors. So basically, they have secured the premise of the 911 call center.
Once again, very elaborate.
So the storyline picks up from the last episode, like we said, and the intruders now have control of the facility. They separate the operators because they intend to keep the calls going. I think they only have 3 operators online at any time, and the others are in a corner, and they'll plan to rotate them. So each person will be on for an hour, and then they'll rotate and call somebody in. And they don't expect many calls because it's first thing in the morning, so they figure they can control the volume. So Josh whispers to Maddie that he recognized Greg, and they realize that Josh was targeted so that they could get something to get into the building.
Yep.
So Maddie lets him know she's warned someone and hopes he got the message. So that was when last week she signaled Chim by saying, "I love you, Howie." And that was her signal to him. So she's hoping that he figured it out, and now he knows something's going on and some help will be coming. In the meantime, we see Chim, and he's trying to contact her because he's just like, "Why'd she say that? Did she really say that? I don't know what's going on."
It feels great that,
she said it, but that doesn't sound right. Yeah. So he tries to call 911, and he gets that message, and he can't figure out what's going on.
He called her a few times on her phone, and on her phone it was like, "Oh, sorry, you've reached Maddie, da 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 da." And then he's like, "Oh, okay, well, Chim, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy."
Yeah.
Okay.
He's talking himself down.
So he calls 911, and it's like, wait a minute, what?
Something's going on.
And
so then he calls Buck.
Yeah.
And, Buck is trying to say, no, there's nothing going
like,
on.
yeah, and he's like, why, like, wait, why are you freaking out that she loves you? Wasn't that the whole point of
going
yesterday?
To dinner?
Of going out for dinner? And it's like, no, like,
you don't understand. Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And Buck sort of washes it away.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But back at the 911, a call comes in. And one of the criminals confirms that it's coming from a certain area, and he tells her
that was blocked off. Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, should we send somebody?" And he said, "No, consider that a no-fly area." So they want to secure this area and not allow any officials to get into the area. So Maddie is dragged up for her rotation on the phone, and she's pretty emotional. It's like
right?
Being held at gunpoint. Yeah, so Athena rolls up on an accident, and that was the area that the woman said was no fly. But of course, Athena, she figures it out, and she goes in there, and these two people are arguing, and you think it's the two separate cars.
Because, like, there was two cars that got into an accident, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, these two people are sitting there, they're arguing and kikiing or whatever. And Tutu's, you see, like, she's like, oh, well, could you guys please move out of place? Like, who is this person?
Which car do you own?
Yeah, it's like, oh, no, that's my car.
We're together in that car. And it's like, oh, well, why are you arguing with each
it's
other?
like, oh, no, he's my husband.
Yeah.
You idiot! It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But while she's there trying to deal with them, she gets another call, which takes her away from them and takes her to a different area. But when she gets to that area, there's like 5 different officers there.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, why are we all here for this little incident where there's real things happening? So that gets her mind
it was
thinking.
just like a little, like, group fight, like, type of thing.
It wasn't any big deal.
Yeah.
But that got her thinking that, something more is happening than meets the eye.
Mm-hmm.
So the criminals are now shown in an art gallery. So this was their big scheme. So all this big elaborate thing was for them to rob an art gallery.
Right? Just to get some pictures.
Well, not some pictures. So expensive
like Van Gogh
art that they can make real money from.
Yeah.
But it's a regular robbery, but it's a big schemed robbery.
Big old scheme. It's like,
so Maddie's trying to calm down all her co-workers when the security guard tells them that the security guard that's now thrown in with them tells them that the guy that was at the door, no, it wasn't the security guard, sorry, it was the server room.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his uniform looks like the security guard.
The security guard was at the was
at the door.
Yeah.
And he had come in to check, and it looked to them that he got killed, so he was telling them. So now they're all like, oh my God, these people are serious thing, they might kill we. Yes, so now everybody's all, Athena shows up at Chim as he's talking to Buck on the phone about something not being right at the call center.
Well, because, like, actually what had happened was there was a call that Josh answered. And Josh is like, seriously, lady, like, why are you calling me for this? Like, we're talking about some foolishness, like, oh my...
Her order, she ordered something and something.
Oh yeah, like her food order didn't come out properly or whatever. It's like, why would you call 911 for?
Yeah.
So when
the criminals told him to get off, he listed the call.
Yeah, and like put in the address and showed up right at Chimney's house, and it's like, wait a minute, why are you here?
Yeah. So she tells them they're trying to get an eye on what's happening, what's going on, because they exchange information. Buck is worried their efforts might put a whole bunch of other people in harm, because basically, the cops just want to barrel in there, and Chim and Buck is, wait, Maddie is in there. You can't just, barge in there and something happens. So Athena leaves with Chim, and they're driving towards the call center to see what's going on when Buck breezes by them in his truck, and they're like, wait, isn't that Buck?
Right.
So of course she pulls him over.
Right, and then it's like, get into the car, and it's like, hey, Buck.
The three of them are in her police car heading to the thing.
And then she's like, Chimney, did you say anything to anybody else about this? And he's like, no, only Buck. And it's like, good, because I only have room for us.
She don't want to be picking up the whole
Right.
thing. Yeah. So then the criminals can see them approaching because they have that little tablet that tells them everything. So
yeah, because it's connected to all of the police, all of the firefighter, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, their cars are bugged, right?
Yeah, they're watching everything.
Yeah.
So Athena gets to the building and she goes in the door and she says, hey, to the security guard, who's not a security guard. And meanwhile, upstairs, they're trying to figure out what are they going to do with this because she's trying to come upstairs and their stuff will be blown. So one of the guys says, well, let's just shoot her. And we're all like, oh my God.
Don't shoot
her! So, talk about running up your blood pressure. This whole show ran up our blood pressure. So the guys are arguing between them whether they should shoot her or not. And they're going back and forth, back and forth. Meanwhile, the security guard's not sure whether he should pull out his gun and shoot her. And finally, the call center manager says, "It's okay. I'll distract her. I'll distract her." And she tells them
it's like a
to tell her it's a code 77.
Mm.
And the guys say it because they don't know what it means, and that was a bit dumb. I would have sort of asked first, but she would have lied anyways.
Yeah.
But they tell Athena gets a call on her monitor, says there's a code 77, and she goes, "Oh, okay, I guess I gotta leave the building." And she walks out, and the poor security guard's like, "Oh, thank God I didn't have to kill nobody."
Well, the guy's like, "Oh, so what the 77 mean?" It's like, "Oh,
no, it wasn't the guy. It was Buck. But either Buck or Chim that asked Athena.
No, it was one of the one of the guys in the room asked the manager lady, asked her, "Oh, what does 77 mean?" "Oh, 77 means that it's like disorderly conduct or something like that, like somebody walking around naked or something like that."
But then Buck or one of them asked Athena, and she said, "No, it means proceed with caution." So she sent her a signal, and so now she knows definitely something is going on. So the rescue team goes off grid because they realize that the guys know exactly where they are, so they go off grid. And Buck insists that Maddie will know how to help them. So, he feels that it'll all work out. Maddie's okay. She'll know what to do. She'll be smart enough to put stuff together.
He was just trying to be optimistic because he's like,
he's scared. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the criminals are fighting amongst themselves regarding their next move because they realize that now they're pretty much trapped in there because the cops know where they are. So as they fight, two of the 911 operators try to overpower them and get help. So
it was Josh and another guy. The original guy that was in the control room.
In the server room.
Yeah, in the server room. He was there, and he decided to tackle somebody or something. And then Josh went to go run to the fire escape to go pull it. And then, the guy basically...
they got overpowered.
Greg got pissed off, and he's like, "I'm tired of all of them."
Yeah. But then he connects with his other criminals that are outside at the art gallery, and the girl Tiffany tells them, "Oh, we need another 30 minutes." And they're like, "What, really? We can't contain this for that." But they're starting to lose it. And the police are getting ready to send in SWAT. But they have no eyes on the place. They only know that there are 5 criminals because those criminals had gotten the badges to get into the place. So these criminals are not as smart as they think. But
they're pretty elaborate, no? Because I can't even lie. I can't even lie to save my life. So I don't know how in God's name these people put up everything just to get, a few. Okay, a few $1 million, but still,
but it was worth it to them anyway. So meanwhile, Buck and Chim are pretty overwhelmed because I think this is the first time they've really watched the police, the PD side of things, doing their stuff, and their partners, firefighter partners, were not in sight because nobody wanted them to cause more havoc.
Yeah. So
Buck and Chim were pretty in the background watching the PD do their thing. So that was neat to see a different side of things.
They were scared. Buck always has this look on his face like he's ready to poop his pants. So, this man looks so frightened.
Well, it's his sister. He's pretty,
But, he was so optimistic before.
but now it's the real thing.
And then it's like, Chim's like, I'm sorry. No, Buck's like, I'm sorry, I didn't believe you when you were worried. And then Buck's like, and then Chim's like, I'm sorry that I was worried for a reason.
Yeah. So Maddie's back answering calls, and the criminals are losing their ish, and as their plans start to fall apart. Right? The rescue team plan to hit them hot before they can figure out what's happening. They bring in a busload of backup 911 operators. That was freaky because it's like, what, you expect them to dead?
Right.
But then you realize also, even
it
if
is a functioning business.
Because even if they all come out alive, they're not going to want to take a call.
Yeah.
So they have to have people ready because it's a service that has to be in place.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think Chim and Buck felt a bit like, that's insensitive. Like, let me get my sister and my girlfriend out before you do that.
Right.
But no, it makes sense why they had to do that.
But it made it, but like the lady, I guess she's like the police chief.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that she was talking, it was like all of them gone dead.
Yeah, we just gotta push their body aside,
right?
and put these
people in. And it's like, are you not registering that this is
their family?
Their family
No,
member? But like, I don't think she did.
No. So Maddie tries to help Josh when co-workers pretends to need an EpiPen. One of the girls, when they asked them to put all of their valuables into a bag, she needed an EpiPen, and she needed it because she's allergic to bees. And the guy goes, well, ain't no bees gonna attack you in here today.
Right? Like bees,
we might kill you, but bees is the least of your worries.
Right? Bees are the least of your worries. Like,
yeah. But she caught on quick on a way that they could help each other, and she pretended to have an attack and need the EpiPen. And of course Greg came over, and Greg is like, well, what's her problem? She needs the EpiPen for what? She goes, I don't know, she needs the EpiPen.
No, they said peanuts or something.
So yeah, but how would she even have gotten that?
Well, that's what he's like peanuts. Like, where the heck was she eating peanuts? Like,
and Maddie is just like, we just need the EpiPen.
Right.
So then she went through, dumped all the bags, and got the EpiPen, and she came back to bend down to the girl. And Greg, of course, says, what's going on? And she stabs him with the EpiPen.
Yeah. And then Greg is like, just drop.
You just drop. Because if you don't have an allergy, it's going to affect
it's
you.
It's adrenaline.
Yeah.
But my mind
just
dead.
He's not a very healthy guy.
But him just dead. And like, Josh is like, oh hell no, you ain't dying here, you hear? You are not dying. You beat me up. You did all this stuff. You have me hostage. You ain't dying. You're going to jail.
Yeah. Well, let's wait. Yeah. So some of the other workers managed to get two of the other guys down, and they got their gun while the EpiPen episode was happening. So they managed to more or less get back their call center. But the criminals at the art museum, who are still packing up, and they've been calling for Tiffany, because Tiffany was the driver, right? So they're all ready, and they come out ready to jump in the car, and the cops are there. Because by this time, they more or less figured out that they locked down the area where the museum was. So the cops figured it out. And they were there, Athena and her group were there to arrest them. And that's when we went back to Josh giving this Greg guy CPR because he did not want him to die. He wanted him to face charges.
He was not impressed.
And then the police came in, and as the police came in and they're trying to separate all the people, the call center backup people came rushing in.
Right? And they just came in like, hello, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, there's all this chaos happening.
It's like, do you not see blood on the ground? Do you not see all this other stuff? Dead body over here? Like, and they're just, hello, okay. Yes.
911, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just ready to go.
I was like, wow, okay. Y'all better off than me, because I would have had a heart attack just watching it.
So then they showed people coming out the building, because all the operators, the criminals, everybody is being ushered out of the building. And of course, Chim is just trying to see where Maddie is. He hasn't seen her. And when they finally set eyes on each other, they just go rushing towards each other. And he, she's
like,
weeping in his hands. Yeah, and he says, I got you. And she finally tells him, I love you. For real?
I didn't even hear her say it. I love you.
I think she did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, if she didn't, she should have.
Yeah, right.
So the 911 manager, because Buck was standing back, and she asked him, well, aren't you going to go to your sister? And he says, no, she's already got everything she needs.
Aww.
That's so cute. Yes. So recap of what happened. They show Athena and her family sitting down to dinner, and this is them just recapping what happened throughout the whole thing. The accident clued Athena into that something was going on, especially with the incident logs, because things weren't adding up. And the criminals, then they show the criminals all lawyering up, everyone except Greg, who's ready to spill the beans on everybody. Oh no, this.
Wait, Greg didn't die.
No, he was there.
Oh.
He was the one that was talking, and then they told him that, oh, you weren't the brains. Tiffany was the brains.
Oh.
Yeah, because he thought he was the captain, right?
Well, big up Josh, because I was like, oh,
Josh brought him back.
Josh.
No, he brought him back to deal.
Good.
And he was the wuss because he didn't even call for a lawyer. No, I'll tell you everything. Because he wanted a deal.
Yeah.
But it turns out Tiffany was the brains, and Tiffany was the first one. Their initial plan was to get somebody online that had access to the call center. The first one they went after was Jake, who was the initial security guard that sat at the front desk. And she and Jake went on a date, and looks like they fell in love. And then she decided, well, she can't go mess up poor Jake because she's now in love with Jake. So then Greg had to get a date with Josh, and he got Josh's access badge, and that's how that all ran around. But meanwhile, Tiffany, who's now in love with Jake, decides that they're gonna bamboozle everybody. So while her crew was getting everything in place, she and Jake had their own little plan that they were going to take off with everything.
Wow.
So right now, Tiffany and Jake are still missing. They were not arrested in all of that because they already got what they wanted, and they're taking off to go enjoy their life. Yeah, they were heading for the train station. They thought they had gotten away with everything. But as soon as they got there, Athena and her people were ready for them because they figured it out.
No, because
the artwork still had a tracking thing on it.
No, it didn't have a tracking thing on it. She took off the tracking thing.
Not on all of them. There was still one that had.
Oh, because I thought it was Jake. Jake that had his phone was still traceable.
Yeah, it was both. They had his phone was traceable, plus one of the paintings still had the tracking. I tell you,
that Jake, he was the dumb one to let her not get caught.
Yeah, but it turns out that Jake does not plan to settle, because everybody made a deal by the end of it except Jake. Because he said nope. His defense was that he was crazy in love.
Okay.
And that's going to be his defense because he sort of fell for Tiffany, and Tiffany took him down this winding road of criminal behavior.
I'm pretty sure that's not possible in the law of insanity.
He will try.
For being in love.
Yes. But then we saw Maddie clearing out Chim's closet, and we were going like, oh, is she moving in? What's going on? And Chim comes in and says, I think I promised you a drawer, not a whole closet.
Yeah. Give an inch.
Yeah. And in our one-liners for this week, we have Greg to the 911 team. You guys like saving lives. Start with your own.
Because one of the 911 guys is like, oh, so you're gonna kill us if we don't do it? And it's like, no, we're not gonna kill you. We're gonna hit the person beside you. And it's like, well, start saving lives. It's like, oh, okay.
Yep. Start saving your own lives. Yep. And then we had Harry when they were summing up everything, and he says, guess there really is no honor amongst thieves. Because they were just
out of the mouth of
each other. Yeah. And then Maddie, yes, give a girl an inch and she takes the whole closet. was a good show. As usual, 911, the heart pumps.
Right.
They do a great show.
I swear the whole time I thought I needed a glass of tea and like, a cup of tea and just like to relax.
Stronger, you couldn't even have a drink because it would be like,
right? That's true.
No,
That's true.
So it's like, no, but it's a great show. We love it. So this is our recap of April 13th for 911.
Yes. And I would like to thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment.
Yes. Be safe,
kind, and loving. Bye.